everyone. This is our 148th session together. I want to begin by acknowledging those of you who come in this space for your continued willingness to show up, often with parts of you that have learned to stay alert or guarded. And the theme for today's session in a new year is entering the new year anchored, not armored. So, as we stand at the threshold of this new year that just began, my wish for each of you is simple and sincere, that this next cycle brings a little more steadiness, a little more ease in the body, and less need to hold everything together just on your own. And today is an invitation to notice, not to fix or change, how you have been carrying yourself as one year closes, another one begins. And we'll start with a brief reflection, 10 minutes, and then move inwards together into a guided group process of IFS, Internal Family System. If you are new here, don't worry, I will guide you step by step. And then we'll get into sound healing using tuning forks, and then open up space for reflections and questions. And you don't need to prepare or do anything in advance. Just bring that object that I asked you to do, and just allow yourself to arrive as you are. So just let's all take a slow breath and begin with your full presence. Let's begin by gently arriving here. Find yourself feeling supported. Allow your shoulders to soften a little, your jaws to loosen, and your hands to rest where it feels comfortable. And if you feel safe and comfortable, you can close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. And take a slow breath in and a longer, unhurried breath out. And let the exhale quietly signal to your body that nothing is required right now. Notice what is here. Sensations, emotions, or simply the experience of being present. There's no right way to feel it. As we stand at the beginning of a new year, gently bring awareness to how your body is meeting this moment. Notice if any part of you is bracing, holding on, or staying alert. Not as a problem, but just as an information. No need to change anything, just notice. And if it's okay, place one hand on your heart or on your belly. A simple gesture of grounding and presence. And inwardly say these words. I see you. I know you have been protecting me. For now, you don't have to do this alone. And let your breath move in its own rhythm. This moment isn't about fixing or pushing. It's about allowing a sense of support to be felt, even briefly. You are here now. As we continue, let this awareness stay with you as we explore what it might even mean to begin this new cycle feeling more anchored and a little less armored. So let me begin by saying this clearly. Every person in this room has endured something that required strength, And the fact that you are here tells me something important. You didn't just arrive, you adapted. You did not survive your life. You adapted into your life. When life hurts us repeatedly or deeply, we don't just remember it in our minds. Our body, emotions, and relationships learn how to protect us. That protection is what I'll call armor. Armor is not who you are. Armor is what you learn to wear. Being armored means living with a kind of emotional and physical shield, often without realizing it. It can look like staying alert even when nothing is wrong, keeping feeling tightly contained, or bracing your body as if impact is coming. Armor forms when something in us learned, I can't afford to be open, I have to stay strong, I must stay in control. And here's an important part. Armor is not a flaw. It's evidence that some intelligent part of you stepped in when you needed protection. I'll give you a simple example many people may recognize. Someone walks into a calm place, maybe a cafe, a pool, or a family gathering. Nothing dangerous is happening there. And yet their shoulders tightens, their breath shortens, their body subtly pulls back. And their mind says, I'm safe, but the body says, stay ready. That's armor. It's not drama. It's not memory. It is actually a memory. It's not drama. The memory that is stored in the body doing its job. How does armor show up? Armor doesn't look the same for everyone. For many of you, it may show up in three main ways. In the body, for example, tightening of the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, or in your belly, shallow breathing, chronic tension or fatigue. The body stays prepared even when rest would be allowed. Or it could be emotionally, like feeling numb or disconnected, difficult crying or asking for help, irritability or sharpness that keeps others at a distance, sometimes even humor or I'm fine, a sentence that many people say, becomes an armor. Or in relationships, keeping conversations that are safe, surface level, pulling away when closeness increases, preferring independence over relying on anyone. And this often leads to loneliness, even when surrounded by people. So when protection becomes a burden, armor once helped you survive, but what protected you then may now be restricting your life. One person once said it simply, the walls that kept the pain out also kept everything else out. So armor can limit connection, it can limit joy, it can limit rest, it can limit the ability to receive support. Not because you're broken, but because the protection never learned that the danger has passed. There's no shame, just awareness. So today, we are not trying to remove armor. We are not trying to forcing you into vulnerability. We are not judging any part of you. We are simply noticing. If you recognize armor in yourself, That's not a failure, that's awareness. And that awareness is always the beginning of choice. And as we move forward today, the invitation is gentle. What would it be like to carry strength without staying braced? What would it like to carry strength without staying braced? What if protection didn't have to mean isolation? We are not taking the armor off. We are learning that something steadier might be possible beneath it. So what's the idea of being anchored? Now I want to introduce a different concept or idea, which is not as a correction to armor, but as another way of experiencing strength. Being anchored means feeling stable from inside, even when life around you is uncertain. It's not about everything being calm. It's about having something solid within you that doesn't disappear when things get difficult. So what does anchored feel like? So when someone is anchored, they still feel stress, they may feel emotion, they may feel the challenge, but they are not constantly thrown off balance by it. Think of it this way. Armor tries to keep danger out. An anchor allows movement without losing ground. So anchoring is an inner strength, not an outward hardness. A simple contrast can be an armored system enters a new situation thinking, I need to be ready for impact. Anything can happen. An anchored system enters thinking, I can meet whatever comes. So one is driven by vigilance, the other by steadiness and curiosity. You may recognize this difference in everyday moments. Walking into difficult conversations, waiting for a medical result, starting a new year without knowing what it will bring. There's an old story, a long story, I've shortened it, from India, that speaks about this beautifully. So the story is that the world is in chaos, like a vast ocean being violently churned. A great mountain is used to stir it, but the mountain begins to sink. Nothing works until a steady presence appears underneath, quietly holding the weight. And once that support is there, the chaos doesn't immediately stop, but it becomes productive instead of destructive. So the meaning of that story is simple and timeless. When life is turbulent, we don't need force. We need support beneath us. And that support is what we are calling being anchored. For most people here, anchoring doesn't come from one place. It comes from few reliable inner and outer references. For some, it's values. Even when things are hard, I know who I am. For other, it's a safe relationship. Not many, just one person or place where you don't have to perform. For many, it's the body. Learning that your breath, the chair beneath you, the ground under your feet can bring you back when the mind starts racing. And often it's simple routines, a walk in the nature, a cup of tea, journaling, prayers, meditation, silence. small, repeatable signals of stability to the nervous system. Anchors don't have to be dramatic. However, they have to be consistent. And anchored doesn't mean being exposed. This is important. Being anchored doesn't mean becoming unprotected. It doesn't mean trusting everyone. It doesn't mean pretending life is safe when it doesn't feel that way. Anchored people still have boundaries. They still say no. And they still protect themselves. The difference is they are not living in constant preparation for danger. They can stand firm without building a wall. Let's try this together. Just for a moment, notice your body now. Without changing anything, ask yourself, do I feel braced or I feel supported? Tight or grounded? And if it feels okay, let your shoulders drop even 1%. And let your breath deepen just a little bit. Slow, deep breath. That tiny shift, that's not relaxation. That's anchoring. For those of you who lived armored for many years, anchoring doesn't happen all at once. No system lets go of all protections without first sensing safety. So we are not asking for a big change today. We are building capacity. You don't have to remove an armor to become anchored. You become anchored and armor naturally softens. That's the direction we are moving in today. So, in these first few moments, we've explored how experiences of difficulty and trauma can lead us to live more armored, tense, guarded, holding ourselves together in ways that once helped us to survive. And we have also begun to sense an alternative, the possibility of being anchored, finding steadiness, support within, so we can meet what's ahead with more resilience and less constant bracing. So as the year turns, anchoring doesn't have to mean big resolutions or dramatic changes. Sometimes it's very small things, giving yourself permission to rest, being a little bit more honest with what you feel, or staying connected to people or practices that help you feel less alone. And you might simply notice one small anchor you'd like to carry forward today, instead of one old piece of armor you've been wearing for a long time. So in the next part of our session, we'll get into an experiential IFS process. We'll explore this together, gently at your own pace. So in order to prepare, I'd like to offer you this one question, which is on the screen. As you step towards the new year, where in your life do you notice yourself staying armored? And what might it feel like to be supported instead? Or have one anchor? There's no right response. Just feel that for you. And I just want to leave you with this reminder. The fact that you developed armor tells a story of strength and survival. And the fact you are here now, willing to explore anchoring, speaks to your capacity to grow, soften, and heal. And that's a powerful way to enter a new year. So look at this question and see what comes up for you, and then we'll go into IFS. Before we begin, I invite you to place an object somewhere near you. It can be something simple, a stone, a crystal, a pen, a ring, something natural or everyday object. There's no right object. Just choose whatever you feel appropriate. Now gently bring your attention to your body. Notice where you're sitting. Let the surface beneath you support you. And allow your shoulders to soften slightly, your jaw to relax, and your hands to rest where they feel naturally. And just take a slow breath in and longer breath out. And do a body scan. What you do is you go from top of your head up to your toes and look for your sensations in different parts of your body. So start with your scalp, go into your face, and you're looking for sensation. You don't have to fix anything, just observe. Go into your neck, into your shoulders, arms and fingers, your chest area, your upper back, look for sensation there, your lower back, your belly area, your pelvis area, your thighs, your knees, into your feet and your toes. And if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes, but you're always welcome to open them. If you want to write something, you're always welcome to do that anytime. Now gently invite into your awareness the part of you that learned to stay guard, the part that stays alert when life felt uncertain. And you don't have to search for it, just softly ask inside, is the part that stays alert here with me now? And notice what arises. It can be a sensation, an image, a feeling, or simply a sense of knowing. And notice where you feel it in your body, around your body. In your chest, in your head, in your throat, in your belly, or general tension in your body. However it shows up, let it be enough. And just gently remind yourself that this is part of me, not all of me. Now see if you can ask a question from curiosity rather than judgment, and ask the question, how do I feel towards this part of me now, right now? How do I feel towards it? You may notice appreciation, or you may notice irritation, or fatigue, or tiredness, or tenderness, or nothing at all. Whatever comes up is welcome. And if there's a voice that appears to come up, analyzing, rushing, doubting, gently acknowledge it. And it may come now, it may come later in the session. Just acknowledge it and say, I see you too. I will come back to you. For now, give me space because I'm listening to this part of me now. So allow it to give you space so that you can focus on the alert part. And see if you can go back to that sensation you felt in your body or the image as you looked for this alert part. And just say inwardly, I see you. I know you've been trying to keep me safe. I'm here now in curiosity to understand more. And just pause and notice how it responds. It may soften, it may stay guarded or hold back. All responses are good. However, you stay curious. And gently ask to this part, I'm curious to know, what have you been trying to protect me from? What are you afraid would happen to me if you relaxed and did not stay alert? Take a moment to hear. Stay curious. The question is, what are you afraid would happen if you didn't stay alert or you relaxed? Notice what came up. Images, sensations, emotions. Ask another question, curious question, saying, I'm curious to know, what is your biggest fear for me? If you were not alert. Let whatever came through as be enough. And see if you can say inwardly, thank you. I didn't realize how much you have been carrying. And notice how it reacts. The sensation, how it changes by you acknowledging. And follow up with another question. I'm curious to know, since when have you been carrying this? How old was I when you started to protect me this way? And what was happening to me then? Stay open to receive whatever comes through. You may notice a younger presence connected to this part. Just notice. And see if you can acknowledge what you saw without explanation. And just let that younger you know that someone steady is here now, and that someone is you. No fixing, no correcting, just presence. Now gently bring your awareness to the object near you and let this object represent this protective part. Not to push it away, but to honor it outside of your body. So just pick it up, look at it, your right hand, left hand, and let this object represent the part that protects you. And notice the difference between being this part and being with the part. You may say something like, I see you, I am not abandoning you. You don't have to be alone anymore while you hold that object in your hand. Now allow your attention to widen slightly. Notice that you're still here, breathing, aware, present. There's something in you that can witness effort without becoming effort. Something that can hold tension without needing to become tense. Let yourself sense that steadiness as you hold that object. This is not force, it is support. And now gently ask this part, the object you're holding in your hand, do you still need to stay on alert all the time? Have you been afraid to stop being alert all the time? Many protective parts don't want this job anymore, but they just don't know what would hold them things together if they step back. So ask, what would help you feel safer today? What do you need me to do or be for you to feel safe again? Just notice how you feel towards that object now. You may feel compassion, deeper understanding. Your listening made the difference. And take a moment to ask this object if it would like to name itself. Any name. So that you can go back to it. And later on put a label to the object, the name that came up. Now take a moment to thank this part that is represented by the object in your hand. Let it know you matter. You helped me survive. You don't have to carry everything anymore. Let your breath anchor that message. If it feels right, offer these words to yourself. I'm here now. There's something steady within me. Protection doesn't have to mean tension. Slowly bring your awareness back, not with the answers, but with the sense of feeling support. And this is not end of the work. It is beginning of a different relationship. One where effort is held by steadiness. And the armor is supported by something deeper. Start to come back. If you want to take notes, please do that as we'll prepare for the sound healing. Okay, so we will begin. The sound will be a little bit more resonating because we are opening up for the room. So if you are new here, two things. One, the disclaimer. If you're sensitive to sound, if you're receiving chemotherapy or you had head injury or brain surgery, you may be sensitive to sound, so it's better not to be here. So you can lower the volume or you come back at the end of the hour, top of the hour for the Q&A if you want to be back. Okay, so what we are going to do is we use tuning forks to open your biofield terminals. Start from the top of the head. Actually start with the heels and then go to the top of the head to open the channel in between. You see that in this image as you see, okay? And what that does is opens these whole channels into what we call chakras or energy centers. So you can lie down, you can sit straight. Just remember what came up in the previous IFS session for you, because we'll just carry this forward as we go forward. So what you have to do is two things. One, breathe. And the breathing is a little bit specific. You breathe in through your nose into your body. So deep breath in, very deep. Okay, and you imagine energy coming, or light, or whatever feels like coming into your head to your chest. So when you breathe in, and then when you breathe out and you feel the flow through your feet. So the idea is to use the breath to move the channel as well, while we are also doing the moving with the tuning forks. Then we'll open the channels top and head, below the feet and top of the head. After that, we'll go into your field, which is, this you see on the side. Now, according to the system, basically all stuff that has happened in your life is in your biofield. Okay, it starts at the edge. This is the time of when you were conceived, and it goes up to the moment. So it comes here next to your body, which is your present moment. Okay, so that's the timeline. So you're from minus 9 months in the mother's womb to the birth until now it's here. Okay, and as we put the tuning fork into the field, something gets evoked, and that brings up whatever has happened there. And what is important for you, because we have 51 people here, plus others who are going to listen, we have to trust, and this is what I've been doing for years, that the field will bring out what is needed for those present and those who are going to hear it. That's how it works. So I will tell you what emotion, what words, whatever come up, what age it is, etc. And if it makes something for you, what you do is you follow the breath, and I will release it with the tuning fork. You release with the breath, like I just said. Okay, breathe in, out. Okay, and then sometime if the emotion is very high, because it can happen, and I will feel it as well, I will tell you to do something like you release. Okay, so you do the fan. So you're not going to breathe all the time this way. I will tell you when to breathe, otherwise you will hyperventilate. You don't have to. Just follow the cue. Okay, here we go. You will not see me, but you will hear me. Okay, so we will start below the feet. I will use 144 Hertz tuning fork below the feet to open and above the head. Okay, so I'm going to go below your feet. So now I'm pointing towards your feet, below your feet, opening the channel towards the top of the head. So what you see there. So take a breath. And imagine that sound going through your backbone to the top of your head. So take one more breath, and I'm going to ground you. Okay, I'm going to go now to the top of the head and do the same, pointing onto your head to open the channel up to your feet. So here we go. I'm on top of your head, and I'm opening the channel from top of your head into the feet. Take a breath. Okay, so you will be quiet because I'm running a pendulum through different chakras or centers, energy centers, to know which one everybody here would like to work on today. So I've gone to the root, the first center, the second center, sacral, the solar plexus, no. Okay, it wants to work on the heart. And on the right side, what we call the masculine side, the father side. Okay, so I'm going to start and change the tuning fork. We'll go work with now 174 Hertz. And I'm going to start at the edge of the torus. So this is the time of when you were conceived. Okay, so the right side, of your heart is about ignoring your heart, overdoing, helping others, accommodating everybody in the world. And and hence not receiving enough, and in the process also sometimes not forgiving yourself or others. So keeping that within you. Okay, so that's what it's all about today. So I'm just making your timeline, and we are going to start from the point of when you were conceived. Okay, here we go. So this is 174 Hertz. Yeah, so at the point of conception, it's saying immediately into fear. So there's some form of fear. But the fear is not coming from divine or from a father figure. It's a fear in the environment, which is taken on by the newly conceived little one. If that makes sense, just breathe into that. It's saying it's not very heavy, but it is present. So I'm now into the pregnancy, so when you're in mother's womb. And that gets amplified. So 4 months, 4.5 months, the fear is amplified. So definitely in the environment picked up by the mother and by the baby. Breathe. And now it's going into the head. So it looks like it can be a fear of a father figure in the house, which can be father, but any elder can also sometimes be who is the boss of the house. Somebody which is creating fear in the environment, which is picked up by the mother and the baby. And so the little one is asking for, what would you say if that little one was your child and is feeling afraid? See if you can say the same thing to this little one in the womb. Same words. And it's heavy in the heart, so it feels heavy. I'm just going to use another tuning fork to release that, but see if you can do the same. Okay, so it went away. Birth time. See if you can bring joy into that scene of your birth. That's what the little one is asking. Can you all feel happy for me being born? I am here now. Please, that's a moment of joy, celebration. Like you celebrate a birthday. Breathe. Okay, moving forward. A 7-8-year-old is feeling a little fearful. Not very afraid, but there's something that it's like something is not feeling right. Around the little one, of course. The environment. Yeah, now it becomes strong. Take a breath. Ha. Okay, it moved on. The 16-year-old. Yeah, somebody, probably father figure, is bringing fear into her system. Yeah, and an ache in the heart, so it feels like some form of sadness. A longing, yeah. Longing to belong. Yeah. Okay, so he's a 30-year-old now. Oh, sorry. Yeah, about 30. Can be 29, 28, 30. Mixture of fears, all kinds. Very afraid of life. Take a breath. Okay, so now it's in the zone which is the pain of the father, or the pain that the father felt in his young age, which is reflected into your field, that is coming up. So see if you can acknowledge. Just acknowledge. Don't have to do anything. He went through pain when he was young. And that pain is in your field. Take a breath. And Okay, so we are going to release whatever we picked up. Okay, so whatever we have worked with, whatever has to process in your body, we'll just keep it secure. So it continues to work for next 48, 72 hours. And then surround the body in a cocoon of 528 hertz. Allow the vibration, the tone, the resonance to continue doing their work, not actively but quietly, like ripples slowly reaching the shore. There is nothing more to understand right now, nothing to process, nothing to fix. And if it feels comfortable, just place one hand on your heart or your belly. That feels steady or warm. Feel the contact. Feel the weight of your hand. Let your body register where you are. And quietly, inwardly, offer yourself these words slowly, gently. I am here. My body is allowed to settle even a little. I don't have to stay on alert right now. It's okay to rest. Let these words land not in your thoughts, but in the places where the sound has already reached and touched. Now, without effort, allow one small moment from the coming days to appear in your awareness. A moment where you might allow a little more ease. It could be a pause, a slow breath, a moment of listening inwards before responding. Nothing big, nothing to prove, just one quiet signal of safety. And let that ease and sense rest inside of you, like the warmth that remains even after the sound has faded, steady, present enough. And take one final slow breath in and a long breath out. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, bringing with you not a promise but a knowing that your body has been heard. Safety can grow gradually, and this setting can continue in small ways, long after we close. When you feel ready, come back.